Hello! Welcome to another video of me talking to myself about the funny levels. Keeping the intro short, this week we have another 3 levels to talk about, bumping up the difficulty quite a bit from the previous 2 videos. In case some people missed it, I do no-hit the levels I talk about here. I feel like I can only appropriately talk about the difficulty of a level when I have already pretty much perfected it, so no-hitting is kind of part of it. Anyways, let's get into the meat of today's episode. Our first level is Sphere by PotatoWare, with a difficulty rating of Advanced. Under my first difficulty review, they actually recommended this level, so I checked it out and saw a genuinely awesome level with pretty impressive visuals. Although this series isn't here to admire the decoration and visual appeal, it's all about that juicy gameplay. So let's dive into it. Very basic dodging here. I like the spray of the bullets though. At this part I would suggest staying away from the circle helpers, because you can't quite see the rotation of the bullets that will come out. At the beginning of the drop, stay on the top side of the screen, which makes dodging this attack easier. You have just enough room to dash through these bullets, so don't mind them too much. Here, stand just left to the middle helper. Once the middle box falls, you can safely dash right. The helpers already show you the trajectory of the bullets, so you can dodge these pretty easily as well. Then just simply dash through the very big hexagons. Here, all you do is pretty much just staying in the middle. You can dash left to avoid the bullets, but make sure to get up as quickly as possible. Here, keep in mind that the little rocket launcher dude doesn't actually hurt you, he's in the background. The number one tip here is get inside the half circles. The arm that swings doesn't actually kill you, and you can even stay inside of the helper. The bullets appear on the outer edge of the helper. After a cutscene, we get into a section which I can only accurately describe as a stealth section. Whenever you see the big helpers, get far away from them, because I found these helpers to be quite clunky sometimes. Based on the shapes, you'll know where the attack will be going before even the helpers appear. Very easy section. Be mindful of the fact that these explosions also release bullets, so dodge these. Squeezing between these 2 helpers is actually pretty hard, and I don't know why I did that, because there is much more room up top. Go up top and you'll avoid the rockets. Here, as the second laser fades, dash up or down before the third laser hits you. Alternatively, you can also stay in the middle. This part might seem complicated at first, and while it is actually kind of simple, it's still hard. Just follow the helpers and stay out of the middle. Time your dash with the music to avoid the explosion. At the ending here, be careful, because the bullets don't travel in a linear motion, they tend to go upwards or downwards. They have a slight arc. The next level I want to talk about is Hummingbird by Instesolence, with a difficulty rating of Advanced. This level literally came out a day before the writing of this script, so I'm happy I can be fairly quick on this one. This is a boss fight focusing mostly on effects and atmosphere, and it really works, especially with the sudden shift of the song. You may be seeing footage of this and thinking, wow, this is really chaotic. And while, yes, that's true, there is a method to the madness. So let me show you. General rule is, if you see a helper like this, go near it and you don't have to worry about the projectiles coming afterwards. Same thing here, although stay at the bottom. This part is a little evil because the middle of the screen gets covered in helpers and the vignette, that is the darkening around the edges, will make it literally impossible for you to see your character if you are at the edge of the screen. The easiest way that I found doing this is go to the edge and whenever the vignette stops, dash into the middle. It may take a few tries to get this down, but once you do, it's not that hard. General thing to mention here, you are gonna have a bad time if you stay on the left side of the screen. I really recommend being on the right side, that's just mainly because of the pattern of the attacks. On the right side it's not too bad. Focus especially hard on your player character in this part. All of the effects going on in this level make it really hard to anticipate how the bullets fly, how your character moves and such things. So you'll just have to get used to it. Once we are back at the garden backdrop, immediately go to the left again. That's because the boss will maneuver to the right and you're gonna have an easier time if you're on the left. Here your full focus should be on the tiny bullets rather than the giant helpers. Don't go to the right too much because once the boss changes sides, you'll have to go to the left side as quickly as possible. Our third and last level for today is Electrify by DXL44, with a difficulty rating of Expert, which is funny because it's the easiest of the three. This level is fairly short, coming in at a little under 2 minutes. But what's being presented in this time span is the important part. The strict monochromatic color palette being broken up by all colors of the rainbow makes this level very appealing to look at. So, with that out of the way, let's see what electrifying gameplay we're dealing with here. Stay away from the circle helpers here as they release one pretty big bullet. There isn't really a helper for this, but just keep in mind that you should stay away from the center because the boss will appear fairly quickly. The bullet pattern at this part could be fairly tight sometimes, So don't be afraid to squeeze through very, very small places. The boss fight has a very consistent attack pattern. Stay away from the small cannons whenever the boss makes the lightning attack, because bullets will come out from there and you will need a little bit of distance. The squares swiping at the top and the bottom of the screen also shoot out some bullets. It's important to be mindful of these, because once the boss teleports around the screen and the screen gets filled with lasers, it can be especially hard to dodge these. Generally speaking, you never want to be on the same level vertically as the boss, because it consistently shoots out lightning, lasers, and bullets. This is the hardest part of the level, but the pattern is very, very easy to learn, and flows together very nicely once you've got it all down. And we're done for the week. Sorting these levels from easiest to hardest, it would be Electrify, Hummingbird, and then Sphere. As usual, make sure to show some love to the original creators. All links are in the description. I really hope this video came out on a Sunday like I planned, which would mean that my streak is still going strong. I do intend to make other videos as well, but we'll keep this ball rolling nonetheless, until I come up with something. Anyways, I hope this was enjoyable. See you next week, hopefully.